here with me, Giuseppe here sometime as well. AJ, thoughts on that disappointing defeat?
Sorry, there's something in the background that was distracting me. Yeah, just not a good result in the end of the day. Man United are in this weird position right now, and I understand because we're trying to change years of failure, and we really are trying to rebuild genuinely. But we're in this position where, like, if we're not focusing on not conceding, we can't score. As soon as we focus on trying to score, we give up chances and it end up conceding. And that was just the story of today. Like the first half, I actually thought we were structurally very good, but attacking wise, we really didn't do much. Bar Ahmad's missed chance with that cross from Delop. We conceded the goal because obviously Maguire does Maguire things, and then we turn it into a basketball match, especially after we scored. We scored a goal from Ahmad, great, but we turn it into a basketball match. And when we do that, that's when our holes are there. That's when we give up chances and inevitably concede. As soon as I saw that 7 minutes, I was like, yeah, this is over for us. And then when we can't clear the ball properly, which we just today we just couldn't do in many times where we just couldn't clear the ball. These things happen, and that defending on the last goal was criminal. Where is everyone going? Why is everyone sleeping? Why is everyone ball watching? You know, like we need to be concentrating. Overall, the structure of the team wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst. Like we can definitely improve on that, and that's something we can take forward. But we just can't have lapses of concentration, man.
Can I ask you a question? KJ? I agree with you. I actually thought our defensive structure for the large part of the game was good, and then there's defensive lapses. When it comes to trying to attack, is this individuals not being good enough or the system not working? Because I just your own personal opinion, is it about Rashford getting the ball in the right places and not doing the right thing, or is it about the system's hindering him? How do you see it?
I see it as more structurally. When you've got Mount and Bruno, there's not what more can you do? Like I don't think structurally when we attack, there's a common pattern yet. You know what I mean? I think they want to get the ball out to the wingers. I think they want to use a lot of wing play. That's what we're trying to do. But it's hard to do that when you don't have a focal point, because once the wingers get the ball, what are they doing afterwards? Who they're playing it to, who they're passing it to. We didn't see any 1-2s that we've been usually seeing for the last during preseason and the last 2 games. We didn't see no combination play on the edge of the box. We didn't see none of that today. So clearly, something's not working, especially with this false 9 Mason Mount thing. I think Mason Mount, personally, not through his own fault, he hasn't been particularly awful, but he just needs to be taken out the side because he didn't really do much bar the pressing, and he doesn't really do much for our attack, personally. We need to get a striker in there, and we need to play and practice playing with a striker so that our wingers actually have something to aim for, someone to play with when we're up there.
I get you. I totally get you on that, bro. Sunshine, as a United fan, what was your thoughts on today?
Well, obviously, first and foremost, shout out to you, Terry. Big up everyone in the comments and stuff, first and foremost. Trying my best, as always, Terry, not to lead with emotion. I'm trying to dissect the game. But the overriding emotion is I'm just deflated based on the fact that I do believe we deserve the 3 points today. I'll go back to the start of the game before the result actually happened, where everyone was a lot more clear and concise. Brighton have slapped us off the park multiple times in the last 4 or 5 games. And today was the first time I actually saw us nullify a very good Brighton side away. That's the first thing I saw in the first half. Second half as well. We played that well that, in my opinion, we deserved the 3 points. However, when you do play well, it's always going to come down to fine details. Now, that's not so much, in my opinion, a bad problem Man United should have if you think about the progression that we're actually looking for in this club and side. We haven't been able to dominate games. We've had spells where we're in the last 5-10 minutes, sometimes 25 minutes in previous games last season. This is the first time I actually saw us, even with the goal down, where we maintained our shape, maintained concentration on and off the ball. For me, that was a great performance from Manchester United as a collective. However, the disappointment that we all feel as United fans is going to get to a stage where we now try and isolate individual errors, maybe try to focus on managers or systems, tactics in this because we just need something to blame. I understand it. It's an emotional response. But I think if you break the game down, at no point does your disappointment extend from any of those things other than the fact that you felt you deserve 3 points? And you've heard me many a times, Terry, say I've seen us win games and we've not deserved it. I said last season, at the start of last season, we've played some good performances, Arsenal included, Crystal Palace, etc., and we just haven't got the results. The issue with that is you start to ignore the performances, and then when you don't get the results, you start to think everything is bad or everything is shit. That tends to be what the case is. So for me, I wanted the 3 points. I think we deserved it. There's a lot more I'm going to say, but of course, we're going to go around the panel before we get there.
Do you know what's interesting about what you say? And I listen, I totally get your outlook on it. And I think for me, this is why I'm probably more angry at the mistakes. And I feel that now that the club have told us we've got it. So I'm going to sit in this space of, you've told us the club structure is there. It's a club-led plan now, not a manager-led plan. That now means what you should be doing is, no, I'm not saying literally Dan Ashworth should be knocking on the manager's door, but just like in any organization, business or sport, there should be a case of you not telling the manager what he can and can't do, but what's the course of discipline to the players that left those guys unmarked at the back post? What's the course of discipline towards Maguire? Too often at Man United, we've continued to play and reward the people that have bad performances and make mistakes, because I do agree with you. If you take out those two mistakes, we may have won the game today. And I think those mistakes undone quite a lot of good work in the game, although there's still lots of improvement. So I do understand where you're coming from.
I would say, Terry.
Sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, just to respond, I think it's always good to go back to before the result started the game. Harry Maguire, everyone knows I dislike him. Everyone knows I'm not a big fan of him per se. But objectively speaking, the last game against Fulham, he's one of our best players. I hate to say it because it doesn't fit my narrative that I don't like him. But I will definitely say that 2-on-1 situation where he prevented the goal going forward, kept his composure. So he should have been starting today, whether I like it or not. Do I want to see De Ligt start? Of course I do. But I can take you back to when Casemiro first joined the club and McTominay was actually having great performances. Yes, we didn't get the results. Again, the performances did not represent the results. But if you remember, everyone's saying Casemiro needs to come straight in the team. I was one of them. But I respect the simple fact that if a player is in form and it's your first couple of games, the most important thing you can do as a team is get, in my opinion anyway, is get group cohesion and rhythm within that squad. Then you start to replace the players after 2-3 games. So maybe now the game against Liverpool is a time where you go, okay, Maguire, over the first 2 games, bro, played great football as a team, but your individual mistakes now cost us. You now have to get subbed. Rashford, 2 games, been underwhelming over the 2 games in comparison to all our players, in my opinion. He now needs to be dropped. We will see if these decisions happen with Liverpool, but it is part of a footballing process.
Why do you change your energy in AG, though?
Say again, sorry?
I thought you just come and say Liverpool can suck my left nut and then leave the stream.
Yeah, they can, bro. Every day, bro. Every day.
Listen, I hear what you're saying there in terms of the meritocracy. I know, Cam, I know you're away with the family. You just want to have a quick say on the game today, bruv.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just on vacation here out in Germany. It's kind of nice out here, not going to lie. I feel a lot like Sunshine felt today, where we played well and we deserved the 3 points, in my opinion. And it hurts more. I like the games where we play bad and we lose. I'm like, whatever, you deserve it. We're starting to see what we want to do. I do think we need to play a bit quicker. There was one moment, it's like it's stuck in my head when Ahmad had Bruno. It was just right there. It was an easy pass, play quickly. Bruno's through. That's probably a goal. I think the team just needs just a bit more cohesion. I'm happy he stuck with Ahmad. He clearly put his hands up to play. I'm happy, we're not looking at it saying Ahmad played really great in preseason and now is being dropped randomly. So I'm on the fence on the Garnacho thing starting. He's always just so much better coming off the bench. It's all we've always seen this. So I'm just so on the fence of, if you start him, do you get the same version? Obviously, if you're going to say based on the strength of how he's been playing off the bench, yes, he definitely should bench Rashford. But will we see a different version? So it's a very tough one for me. I think you give him a shot, see how he looks when he starts. But for me, I still think he's in that super sub mold. The whole talk about Maguire sitting for De Ligt, I would have liked to see it, but I think I didn't expect it because he just got here. We did try to get it over the line he did just get here, so I didn't expect it. And I know he's one of those players where, well, you shouldn't need time to blood and all that. But it's one of those things, like, if we did start him, you'd hear people, and if he made a mistake, people would be like, oh, see, Maguire played well, we should give him more time. You're always going to have those moments. So I think if we're going to be very objective knowing the just got to the club, I don't think we were ever going to start him in this game. I think he starts moving forward, without a doubt. And I think what happens on the left wing, we'll figure it out. I'm happy to see Ahmad is clearly our right winger. And the striker thing, Xerxes came in holding an injury, right? So I would have liked to see him start, but we were told that he came in holding an injury and that he needs to come in slowly. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't really fault the manager for trying to bring these players in slowly since they didn't get here right away and they came injured. Outside of that, when I think about the passes of play, I think we look better today than we've looked in a lot of games. And Brighton's our bogey team. It sucks. You go up against Brighton expecting to lose when you're a United fan now at this stage, which is not a good place to be because it's Brighton. But when it comes to Brighton side, I got to give props to that Mickey Van de Ven dude, or that guy. He was a problem for us today.
Van Heck was
Thank you, Ben Heck. Thank you. He was an absolute problem. He just stopped everything, every cross. But on the strength of it, at the end of the day, like the way I look at it is there's positives to take from this game, which there weren't a lot of positives to take in our first 2 games last year. And we haven't won 2 of our first games in the last 3 years. So we're sticking to the script, unfortunately. What is it, 7? Yeah, we're sticking to the script. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. The positives are we look better, I think, as a team. Our passes of play look better. The goals that were allowed were based on errors. It wasn't based on our structure, in my opinion. It was based on big mistakes. I'm not in the camp. I think there's too many people that are just ready to be like, oh, see here, Ken Hawk screwed up. Listen, the Bruno sub, brutal. One of the worst. I couldn't believe he did it. Outside of that, I'm kind of like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on a lot of the other decisions. I think Bruno being sub made absolutely no sense, but it also shows us that we need a proper midfielder to actually come on for Bruno Fernandes versus Scott fucking McTominay. Anyway, that's it. That's all I had to say.
No, I hear you, bro. I hear you, mate. You go and enjoy the rest of your holiday, mate. I know you with your family vacating, so you're having a vacation. Cheers, bro.
Real quick. There you go. Cheers.
Very, very nice. Top man. Thank you very much, Cam. Appreciate it, brother.